Nicole wanted to do stuff.
Nicole, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, basically all Tarina wanted to do was she wanted to go to, I forget a Lady Braydon.
Okay.
And ask her for just like an empty journal, and if she has any books on the Feywild, specifically the different courts of the Fey.
I know, for me, when Kathy wakes up or whatever, I don't know how long that will be. She wants to go out and find people. I just don't know how to bring it up.
Okay, well,
Tarina's also taking a short rest because she's a warlock and she needs those.
Alright, well, Matt, cuddle up with me. Let's cuddle.
Tarina's not, I don't see Tarina as a color, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
So, honestly,
like,
as soon as we all got back, she's like, cool, see ya, and then just went and did her own thing. Like, she just totally walked away from the rest of the party.
Blew him off. Okay. So, Lady Braydon would probably be, in her study. So, we'll say that, actually, we'll just put her in the kitchen because it's easier. Like, I see her as someone that, like, drinks, like, a lot of tea. So, like, she's in her kitchen, kind of, like, has a little bag. Oh, Tarina, do you, need something?
Yes, I was wondering if you had any books on the Feywild, specifically the different, courts.
Oh, yes, I do. One moment. And she kind of, like, moves her tea around for a second and then, puts it down and shuffles off.
Also, if you happen to have any blank journals, I would really appreciate being able to chronicle what's happening.
Yes, of course, I love enriching minds, so, I'll go get you something, and then she, comes back about 5 minutes later and hands you a book on the Feywilds. It's, not very big, but, and it's, kind of worn. And then she hands you a, basically like, I was like, I don't know what they would have apart from stacks of papers, but we'll just say that the Drow have spiral-bound notebooks, so she gives you one of those.
Like that.
Yes, there we go. And here you go. Well, I'll leave you to it, and then she goes back to her tea. So we'll have you investigate the book. I'm assuming that's what you want to do?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so roll for investigation in the book.
Webcam.
Yeah.
Blink, help me.
Uh-huh.
19.
Okay. So you're reading through this, and it basically states that 19 will give you quite a lot. But it says that the Fey Courts, there's 4 of them on the continent of Ioneer, which basically encompasses the Arcane Empire to the Elven Principalities, and the 4 of them have spread out with the Autumn Court in the central between the Arcane Empire and the Elven Principalities. The Spring Court is on the west side of the Arcane Empire. And then the Summer and Winter Courts are up north above the Elven Principalities. And the research that is given was done by a, well, it would probably be like a high elf or a wood elf who did this research. But what this person did was, this researcher found out that the court courts are kind of like essentially like the forests like themselves that encompass like the Fey forests. Those are actually different planes. And so when you cross into like the Fey forest, you're actually entering a different plane. And the Fey tend to keep to themselves, and like so. And it's
for me.
Yeah, and it's hard to get to them because as soon as you enter their like forest or domain, you're entering like a plane that they like control. But they do make their rulers known somewhat. So you would know that currently the ruling Fae are called, you have, I think what I did was, okay, yeah. So there's Queen Sabra, who rules the Autumn Court, and there's Queen Kiranil, who is over the Spring, and then King Elia is over the Winter, and King Ter is over the Summer Court. Of those four, Elia is the oldest, followed by Kiranil, Ter, and then Sabra. And the Fae usually don't cause too much with outside their own like realm, their own like plane. But they do occasionally like to come out and play. Essentially, another thing that they are responsible for is basically the pixies from their courts go out and like kind of like pollinate the flowers but with magic, so they're like magic honeybees, and so like magic is distributed through these pixies, and that's how like that's why there's magic in plants. Yeah, that's
19able.
Yeah, I think that should cover, that should give you a lot.
So after I'm done reading all of that, I'm gonna write in the journal in Elvish. The beginning is like kind of scrawly written like in, and the second half of the entry is like perfectly legible, but still in Elven.
Okay. As you're writing, you at this point you can almost feel when Arturo's about to show up, and you can feel him at your shoulder, and he says, "Oh, I didn't know you were so interested." Not that I'm surprised.
I mean, why wouldn't I want to know? I'm sorry. Can I leave for a second? Someone's at the door.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Time. Might be able to take time to fix
Intermission time.
But
Sorry, a DoorDash guy.
What'd you get?
what'd you win?
I got pizza.
Pizza.
Wow.
I want pizza.
Pizza. Anyway, sorry.
Here.
I'm watching a lot of Teenage Mutant.
All right, so Churro, he's over your shoulder. So and I see you're taking an interest.
Why wouldn't I?
That's true. We're quite interesting. Though you could have just asked.
I mean, I did ask you who specifically my patron was, to which you responded, "Well, isn't it more fun not to know?"
Well, you got me there. Sorry, Faye are a bit secretive by nature. He kind of he like, you actually see him look a little awkward for, like, the first time, and he so, are you okay? I know Sopra's kind of, a lot.
Oh, I don't have much of a choice, do I?
I suppose not. We're in this boat together. And, well, I don't work for her because I want to. I work for her because I have to.
Nasty business. And I do have a plan, but I don't know if it will encourage her.
Do you want to share your plan?
Not. We have a friend who seems to be in a bit of a pickle at the moment, and we're not sure if she's going... Well, I don't know if there's a way to get her from being executed tomorrow. And she does have a boyfriend who does love her so dearly, and what a better place for the two of them to escape to than a place where they can be taken care of and love each other.
Well,
at least that's how I'm going to phrase it.
It is a lot easier when you kidnap people if they are willing to go.
Good.
Well, I have no qualms on who you want to take.
Let's say she wanted to drow or something exotic, and the only exotic people here, aside from the drow, which are at least exotic to me, would be the bug people, but I don't see me being able to take either one of them.
Well, to be honest, I think you should stick to the drow. A lot easier on the eyes. Sobra's kind of... gosh, what's the word when you, like, care about how stuff looks?
Particular?
Particular, yes. Sobra's particular about her aesthetics. The bug wouldn't really fit it. So, do you know how you are going to go about... Well, I suppose if we just told them, oh, there's a great place I want to take you to, then they'd say, oh, yes, take us, and then I could just show up and poof.
Well, I did literally say that to her boyfriend, and she said, oh, that sounds wonderful. I have a safe place for you to go where you will never be found again. Considering if you break your girlfriend out of prison, then you're probably never going to be able to come back home anyway. So why not go to a place in which you will be safe?
That is true. I mean, going to a whole different plane is definitely going to be a lot more difficult to follow.
I am slightly concerned, though, by giving her two people that might be encouraging her, and that's not necessarily what I'm going for, but also... start off on the right foot, maybe.
Well, she does like it when she gets two birds with one stone, even though she wasn't asking for more than one bird. So I don't think she'd have any qualms with her shading more than one pet. And as far as encouraging her, you mean as in collecting people?
Yeah.
Well, Tabra's just bored. If you really wanted to deter her from collecting people, you'd have to find her a whole new hobby.
Like me.
Sorry, you cut out. I heard like me.
She can make more people like me.
Or more warlocks. I suppose. Though, the whole idea was sort of, my idea. Yes. So I think she does seem to warm up to the idea, though. It's like having, I don't know. No offense intended, but it's like having a little minion around that she can look at. And say, oh, look at my little minion. Look at her fight. How wonderful.
And I do say, though, I am fairly pleased that it seems as if she won't be making any new warlocks soon. I'd grow jealous of your divided attention.
Oh, I do a lot of things for Sabra. And, not to burst your enthusiasm, but she does have more than one. He leans over and says, "But you're my favorite."
Thank you.
Okay. So do you I've run out of things to say, so we'll just say that you guys hang out for a little bit, and then like
Yeah, I might just try to chat with him.
you hang out for a little bit, and then like as
Oh, nobody sees this because
Yep.
Chianti's asleep.
yeah.
I'm technically taking a short rest right now.
Make just for funsies, make another wisdom check.
Oh no.
It's for
That's
fun.
not for the funsies.
It will make
Not for
sense.
funsies.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'll take it.
It's always for funsies. That's D&D.
Wisdom. I only have a +1. 16.
Okay. So like as you're chatting with Arturo, your report is natural, and like he opens up like a little bit more to you. And as you're just talking to him, you notice that like there is like it's almost like it's a really slight shimmer to how he looks, like just very slight. That's it.
He's so shiny. He's so sparkly.
Don't look like I think he do. Huh.
Okay, then.
Say anything about it.
Okay, so does anyone want to do anything else? Unless they want to, because I got a thing.
Can I talk to Luna?
Yes.
Since we're just walking back from from what was it? Not the Braydon's house, but the.
And I would be telling you that we should be challenging the war matron to a as a group to a fight, because then we can gain a favor with her, and then that she might release Mara.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I mean, it sounds like we got a couple of options. We could talk to the High Priestess. 2, we could talk to the War Matron. 3, you can tell me about love and why. How do you love?
I see where this is going. Okay. Well, what is it you're wondering about it?
I mean, how'd you know that you love Gealach? I was just curious.
Well,
You just see me just kind of like rubbing my arm.
I guess to say I knew him for a long time, and I knew that he was a good person, and like we were able to confide in each other all the time. And he has nice abs, and
Nice to look at.
and he was always like very intelligent and creative, and I don't know. I guess I think of love as like an endearing familiarity. You know?
Okay, so you got familiar with him.
Yeah. Is there someone you think you like?
I mean, did you ever watch like Gealach work out or anything? Or
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he stood in his workshop. It got really hot all the time because he would have a forge going, and so he'd take his shirt off and stuff.
yeah, so he would probably sweat a lot and
Yeah.
very glistening and
Yep.
very, very sparkly and
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Are you saying you're attracted to somebody?
see pretty much just the words get caught in her throat, and she's like, I mean, I don't know. It just feels kind of weird, and he was really glistening, and just it was really I don't. and like immediately, like as we're walking, you like see me like my face turn red, and then all of me turn red again, as like my leaves turn from bright green to like orange autumn. Like I've never felt this way before. Do you think this is love?
Not necessarily.
I mean,
Finding somebody attractive is many times part of love. But there's also just a lot of people just have an innate desire to be intimate with somebody, and sometimes you get those feelings when you find somebody attractive, and then your brain just kind of tries to remind you, like, hey, like, remember how we deep down want to do that?
So, Luna, what should I do?
Maybe talk to him, ask him about himself, and tell him about yourself.
Okay. And like, you see, like, very much in my LA fashion, I'm like, I don't have any grape leaves on me, but I take out like a crunchy autumn leaf, and I start writing down notes. I mean, I guess I can ask him about his archaic, how does blood taste? Or...
Yeah, that's where to start.
I'm gonna start writing vigorously.
Okay. I really want her to ask that question now.
I didn't hear a wish.
Okay.
Hi, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you for watching Dungeon Damsels. This is not the end of the session, so please stay tuned for the next part. We update on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're interested in supporting us more, please push the subscribe button, like, or comment. We also have a Patreon, wink wink nudge nudge, and our show is in podcast form. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, and plenty of other podcast platforms. Thanks, we hope to hear from you soon.